Dr. Rudi Newman, a historian and author working with Hertfordshire's library service, and in this series we'll be revealing some of the important, obscure and sometimes unusual stories to be found in Hertfordshire's history. Many places can claim famous residents, and Hertfordshire's proximity to London has no doubt helped in the great number of influential figures to be found in its history. But two in particular were to have international importance, giving Hitchin a connection to innovations that helped create the modern world. Henry Bessemer was born in 1813 in Charlton, near Hitchin. The son of a French inventor, the family had been forced to flee Paris during the Revolution, but his father's experience with mechanising the manufacture of metal components, such as gold chain, gave them some security and would influence Henry's own career. One of his first major inventions was a method for mass-producing bronze dust, a component of gold paint, and previously only able to be made by hand. An early example of reverse engineering in commercial industry, his new process was a closely guarded trade secret, slashing costs while increasing production, and making Bessemer a fortune. From this he could finance other experiments, such as plate glass manufacture. Although not commercially successful, this laid the foundations for his most significant contribution. Since the Industrial Revolution, there was an exponential growth in industry and engineering projects, most of which were reliant on iron. This had distinct limitations, though. Wrought iron could only be made in small batches, while cast iron was very brittle. The latter would lead to numerous disasters when it failed, most famously the collapse of the first Tay Bridge in 1879. Steel was infinitely superior, but only very small quantities could be made, and it was very expensive. From 1850 to 1855, Bessemer developed a system for mass-producing steel, his original focus being for ordnance production. The Bessemer process, using a furnace called a converter, burned off the impurities in molten iron by blowing oxygen through it, enabling large quantities and making it much more affordable. As a consequence, for the first time, steel became a primary construction material, enabling larger and stronger structures, the basis of all engineering projects today. Ironically, many foundries initially rebuffed his process, leading Bessemer to develop his own steelworks. Its success not only led to the wider adoption of his process, but helped build the metalworking reputation of its location, Sheffield. The second figure, born in 1827 in West Ham, was Joseph Lister. His father was a wine merchant, but had also helped pioneer precision microscope lenses, something that would prove invaluable to Joseph's career. In 1838, he attended the Benjamin Abbott Isaac Brown Academy, a Quaker school in Hitchin, later training in botany and then medicine, in 1853 becoming a member of the Royal College of Surgeons. At this time, medicine still relied on the miasma theory of disease, but its spread was caused by bad air, so surgery was especially dangerous. Tools and surfaces were not sterilized, the issue of bacteria not then being known, so infection was a major threat. Reading the works of Louis Pasteur, one of the founders of bacteriology, and conducting his own experiments based on the new germ theory of disease, Lister looked to develop antiseptic techniques to prevent bacteria in wounds. Focusing on swabs and sprays using carbolic acid, he discovered improved healing with no infection, and after publishing his results in 1867, pushed towards cleaner surgical practices. Initially, there was criticism of what was a very different approach to disease than commonly accepted, and the acid caused difficulties of its own, especially in irritating the surgeon's eyes. Slow to be adopted, its success, however, led to increasing praise, aided by Lister continually developing his research and techniques, and Lister's fame soon spread. Becoming a respected university lecturer and the royal surgeon, today he is known as the father of modern surgery, helping transform healthcare and save innumerable lives. Henry Bessemer died in 1898, Joseph Lister in 1912. After their discoveries, both were showered in honours, including at Hitchin, where a street was named after Bessemer, and the former Quaker school became the Lord Lister Hotel. Although their work was initially criticised for deviating from usual practices, their far-sightedness led to major innovations in engineering and medicine, creating new standpoints for future development and helping create the world we know today. If you would like to know more, there is plenty available, and Hertfordshire libraries are a great place to start, with many online resources alongside material in your local library. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for listening.